President, please be seated. The court is back in session. And the floor is given to Judge Lavance to resume his questioning to this witness. You may now proceed, Judge.
Merci, Monsieur.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, I would like us to go back to the period between the end of the Kokomchek Dam construction site works and the beginning of the work on the Trapiang Tamar Dam work site. You have testified and stated that there was a plan to build a road. Can you tell us precisely what that project consisted of?
Answer. Actually, there was a plan to build a road from Kanang, Nam Tao to Donoi. Which was located west of a Thai border. The forest was cleared and the arrangement was made. After 3 days of carrying dirt on the dam, the workforces were removed to help work at Trapiang Tamar.
Est-il exact?
Mr. Witness, is it correct to say that that road construction was an extremely important project or plan? Since, if I understood you correctly, that road was supposed to go from Siem Reap or its environs up to the Thai border. I also read what you said in the record of your interview, and from it I understand that electrical equipment had to be installed and leading to Thailand. And there was also a question of building a railway line, and all of this is in your record of interview. Your CD CAM interview, document E3/9094, and the references in French are ERN 01 12 36 25 to 26, and in English 00 72 86 72 to 73, and in Khmer the reference is 00 73 40 59 up to the top of page 62. So, Mr. Witness, is it correct to say that that project included extremely important works, including the possible construction of a railway line?
Concerning the project, Tawal told me that there was a plan to build a road reaching up to Thai border, and there was a plan also to build the railway line for Siem Reap, and this railway line was connected from Kanang to Angkor Wat area. This was what Tawal told me, not in the meeting at that time. The plan was not discussed in a meeting. Tawal personally told me about the plan, and I do not know whether it was true that there was a plan to build the road and the railway line.
Qui était
Who attended the meeting and what did you discuss?
Answer, as I told you, it was not discussed in a meeting. Tawal personally told me about the plan. Tawal conversed with me about the plan in a normal way. It was not discussed in a meeting.
De quoi avez-vous parlé pendant cette
What did you discuss at that meeting? Therefore, sir, I am referring to a meeting that you mentioned in the record of interview with DC Cam, and you refer to a meeting held prior to the construction of the dam, and that meeting concerned Ta'un, Tawal, and yourself. And this is what you stated. First of all, there was no plan to build a basin. We were asked to build a road leading to Thailand. We were asked to prepare an electrical supply system that would enable water to run from here to Thailand along Srei Noi. And you point out that you are referring to Srei Noi in the Bantai Chma district. Does that refresh your memory?
Answer, yes. I can recall it. Srei Noi was not located in Banti Chma. Srei Noi was situated in Swaijek district or Thamawput district. Actually, in the past, there was no Swaijek district. That Srei Noi was located in Thamawput district. The Srei Noi was west of Banti Chma. Actually, it is true that Tawal told me and another one, Taheng, about the plan. And later on, Tawal disclosed that information to me, that there was a plan to build a road. There was actually a meeting before Tawal told me about the plan. It is true that there was a meeting before Tawal disclosed the information about the plan to build a road.
est-il exact
And is it correct to say that that project required some coordination with people in the Siem Reap zone, since the road was supposed to lead from the environs of Siem Reap up to the Thai border?
Answer, about the coordination with Siem Reap, I do not know about it. Tawal simply told me that the Siem Reap workforces would continue building the road after we completed some parts of it.
Vous avez donné également des
You also provided some information regarding the authority that issued orders for this project to be carried out. According to you, who issued the orders that such a road be built?
Answer, It was Ta Heng. I met Ta Heng in a meeting discussing the plan to build a road. There were three of us, Ta Val, Ta Heng, and I at the time.
Vous avez dit ceci.
This is what you stated in answer to the following question. Did he refer to the upper anchor who issued the instructions for the construction of this road, and who was the upper anchor? And your answer was, the upper anchor was the Central Committee of the brothers. Question, did they refer to the people in Phnom Penh? And you said yes. Central Committee, Pol Pot Central Committee. He had recommended that the upper anchor brother asked us to build the road, and your answer was yes. Question, did they refer to an order issued by the Central Committee?
Answer, I have never heard of the order from the Central Committee. I do not know about the Central Committee. I have no idea at all about Central Committee. I heard of it after the Vietnamese troops came into the country. I only knew there was a Pol Pot after the Vietnamese troops came into the country.
Donc, avant l'arrivée des...
So prior to the arrival of the Vietnamese, the only person you ever heard anyone refer to was Mr. Khieu Sampan.
Answer. Actually, the name Khieu Samphan was heard in 1975 in a radio, and I heard he was the state presidium. However, I did not know his face at that time, and today I could see him for the second time.
Je vous remercie, monsieur le témoin. Je n'aurai pas de...
Well, thank you, Mr. Witness. I have no more questions.
President, thank you. The chamber would like now to hand the floor to the defense teams. First, to the defense team for Nuon Chea to put questions to this witness. You may proceed, counsel.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. Witness, good afternoon. I would like to ask you some questions on behalf of my client Nuon Chea. I would like to start first with asking you some questions about the arrests of Taval and Tahun, persons you just mentioned. Is my understanding correct that you never witnessed the actual physical arrest of Taval?
Mr. President, regarding the arrest of Taval and Taheng, I did not personally witness it. The arrest took place at night time, and I did not know who came to make the arrest. And only next morning, I saw his wife weeping in her house, and I asked her what happened, and she said that her husband was arrested last night.
Do you know whether Taval, besides working at the Trapiang Tama Dam worksite, also worked at a worksite called Spin Sraing, the Spin Sraing worksite? Do you know that?
I did not know about the Spin Sraing worksite. Through my knowledge, workers, some of the workers were reassigned from the Trapiang Tama dams to work at the Spin Sraing worksite. However, Tawal had been arrested earlier than the work commencement at the Spin Sraing worksite, and the worksite was supervised by the Southwest group at the Spin Sraing.
Is the Spin Sraing worksite close to a village called Chup village?
I cannot tell you about this. I know there was a location called Spin Sraing, and next to it there was a village called Rong village. And then there was another village adjacent called Pung Ro. And at the upper part of Spin Sraing was Pung Ray and Muk Chnieng. There were many villages nearby the Spin Sraing area. However, the one village that you mentioned was not near Spin Sraing.
Thank you. Mr. Witness, who is a person called Takrak?
I do not know anyone by the name of Takra.
It's possible that I mispronounced the name. I will come back to him. Let me ask you a question. You just mentioned that the day after Taval was arrested, you spoke to his wife, who was crying. In your WRI E3/9567, in answer 39, you stated as follows: I did not witness the arrest, but the next morning Takrak and I went to his house and I saw his wife crying. Does that refresh your memory?
I understand what you just said. Now I know you refer to Takro, not Takra. Takro was the chief of Planet Prayer Commune, and actually I went there together with him. And the wife of Taval actually asked me to bring along some tobacco to distribute to the workers, and the tobacco came actually from the east zone. In fact, there were 6 sacks of tobacco, and it was meant for distribution to the workers at the dam work site. However, since Taval had been arrested, she asked me and Takro to take the sacks of tobacco for distribution. So I took one sack of tobacco for the distribution among my men at the fishing unit, while Takro took another sack for distribution to his own men. And allow me to repeat, the name is Takro, not Takra.
I do apologize, Mr. Witness. You just mentioned, and you said that in your WRI as well, that the tobacco, the 6 bags of tobacco, came from the East Zone. Do you know why Taval in his home had the possession of 6 bags of tobacco from the East Zone? Was that something unusual, or was it something normal? Do you know anything about that?
I did not know about that. What I can say that the tobacco was put into a packs and then bagged it, and it was distributed to the workers. There were also some shoes from the East Zone, and they were meant to distribute to the workers at the work site. And maybe that was the intention of the revolution, that is to share amongst ourselves what we had.
Shoes, were these sandals from the East Zone?
Yes, the sandals were made from a tire, or you can call it car tire sandals. However, they were nicer than our manually made car tire sandals.
Coming back to my earlier question, do you know whether end of June 1977 it was normal or maybe unusual for Taval to be in the possession of sandals and tobacco from the East Zone? Can you say anything about that?
I do not know what else to tell you. What I knew is that the tobacco came from the East Zone, and I did not know from where he obtained it, maybe from Bonti Minche. I do not know, and it was meant to be distributed to the units. And the sandals were also brought from the sector for the distribution to the workers in the unit. And from what I could say, the things or the stuff from the East Zone was only sandals and tobaccos, and probably they were meant to be distributed nationwide.
I will get back to that subject later, Mr. Witness. Let me now turn to when you talked to, or the moment that you talked to the wife of Taval. Do you remember what she said to you about the arrest the night before of her husband?
I cannot recall what he told me, but the content was that she told me her husband was arrested the night before.
Do you recall her saying something about a car with the people in it that arrested her husband?
As for the vehicle, yes, I recall it. She says the vehicle was white in color.
Did she also say whose car it was?
The car belonged to the Chil. And it was the same white vehicle belonged to the Chil which was used to conduct the arrest within the area.
But did she tell you whether she actually saw Tachil in the car, or whether his men were in the car, or did she just say that she had seen his car?
No, she did not say that. She only said that the white car belonged to the Chil, and she did not say who actually came of the vehicle to arrest her husband.
I'm thinking of a way to approach this, Mr. President. His wife has given testimony which seems to indicate that Tachil was arrested while being at the Sping Srang worksite. I refer to E3/9524, question and answer 21. I will actually read it to you. She says, 1 week after the Southwest group arrived, they arrested my husband at the Spin Sring worksite. I knew because I asked Chup villagers, and they told me that my husband had been arrested here. Does that is that something that she might have said to you as well?
It is true, that's what she said, because she resided in Chup village, which was opposite the Pranit Preh district office, and there was a market nearby, and Tawal was living in that house before his arrest, and of course this house was far from the Spin Shrine worksite.
She also testified that a week after her husband was arrested, she herself was arrested, and that she was put into a prison at Svei or Svai. Is that something that you know?
No, I did not know that the wife was also arrested, because since after his arrest I focused on my work, and I did not have time to go and visit her, so I did not know whether she was later on arrested.
Have you heard that she was released later, 3 months later, and released to farm near the prison in a cooperative in Rook village?
No, I did not know about that. although I know where Rook village was.
Going back to Tachil, you seem to have implicated that Tachil had something to do with the arrest of Taval, but is it fair to say that this is only your suspicion based on the vehicle of Tachil being seen by the wife of Taval?
Yes, that is correct, because the vehicle belonged to Tachil. And that's what Tabal's wife told me.
The other reason that I'm asking is because in your DC Chem statement, E3/9094, English 00728683, French 01123644, and Khmer 00734089. In that DC Chem statement, you say Tahung and Taval got along well with each other. They were in the same party. Tachil and Tanim were in another party. When you said that to the DC Chem investigator, was that based on Tachil's vehicle that was seen by Taval's wife?
I made my personal understanding about that, and my understanding was that Taval and Tachil, as well as Tahung, was a group. However, Tachil and Tanyim formed another pact, and to me it seems that they were two separate pacts. And that is my own view, and I did not derive this from anything else.
Thank you. I understand from your testimony that you spend a lot of time with Taval. What kind of person was Taval? Was he a gentle person, or was he a ruthless person in respect of the treatment of the workers, for instance? What can you tell us about him?
Taval was a kind of agitated and a cruel person. However, since I was close to him, I knew that he was agitated only in words, but he had a good heart. So if he was angry, you just move away from him, and a while later you could approach him again and he calmed down and nothing would happen. However, he had a kind heart.
But is my understanding correct that you yourself can understand that other people called him for instance, quote unquote, unkind and ruthless?
Yes, that is true. Some people may perceive that he was a cruel man, but as I said, I was close to him. He might be a loud person in words, but he had a kind heart, and usually he would call those who made mistakes to be refashioned for once or twice. And I myself made mistakes too, and he would refashion me, and I stayed close to him since.
How was Taval's relation with Tahung? Were they close friends with each other or long-standing comrades? What do you know about the relation between Taval and Tahung?
No, we were not considered as friends. They were not considered as friends, and Tahung was overall in charge of the sector, but Taval was only in charge of the sector mobile unit. And of course, they had a relationship in terms of a working relationship, and I could not tell you whether they had any relationship in terms of a personal one.
But did you see them talk with each other many times? Did they have many meetings with each other? Or were you always present at these meetings?
No, I did not see them speaking to one another. When we were called to a meeting while we were working at the dam work site, only the chiefs of the units were called, and Taval did not attend such meetings. And if these two were to discuss among themselves, I did not see it. So I cannot tell you whether they had any private discussions among themselves.
Let me now turn to Tahung. Was he also called brother number 7?
I saw a writing on the vehicle that is 07 number, and he was referred to as brother number 7.
Do you know the reason why he was called brother number 7?
No, I don't. I do not know about the arrangement during this consecutive period of the regime and what kind of codes they used.
In your DC camp statement, you called Tahung a quote-unquote top intellectual. What did you mean with that when you said that?
I call him that because he was full of knowledge. When he called us to attend a meeting, he would use nice words, and his talking was smooth. So it was my understanding, and that reflected his intelligence. And for that reason, I refer to him as the top intellectual person.
Is my understanding correct that you also did not yourself witness his actual arrest, the arrest of Tahung? You didn't witness that yourself, correct?
Yes, I did not witness it.
However, you are saying in your DC Chem statement on Khmer page 00734-095 in Khmer, repeat 00734-095, in French 0112-3647, and in English 00728-686. You say that Tahung was arrested earlier than Taval. How do you know this?
Because that's what happened. However, I did not know when he was arrested. I only knew that he was arrested before the arrest of Taval.
Have you ever heard that Tahung was first transferred from the Northwest Zone to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and that he stayed there for a few weeks?
No, I was not aware of that, nor did I hear about it.
Let me now turn to a secret meeting that was discussed earlier already. You were asked the question first by the prosecution whether you attended such a meeting, and you denied being present at such a meeting. A meeting during which Taval allegedly spoke about a secret plan. I shall not mention again, I shall not mention the name of the person who said that you were present, but do you have a reason to think why this particular person would testify here in this courtroom and tell the court that you were in fact present at that meeting during which Taval spoke about a secret plan?
No.
I never attended any secret meeting with Taval. I knew Taval convened meetings, but personally I never attended a secret one.
Let me give you some more details about this meeting that this other person, the other witness, spoke about. For the record, that is TCW 996. And I'm referring, Mr. President, to document E3/9076, Khmer 0072 8870 and 71, and English only 0073 1172.
Look, late.
President, please repeat your numbers, since interpreters could not catch up.
Of course, Mr. President. Khmer 007 28870 to 71, and English 0073 1172. So this witness, DCW 996, speaks about this meeting. He said that you were present, but you deny that. He said Taval brought sandals, Cambodian sandals from the eastern zone for the mobile units. And then the question, wow, bring sandals? And then the witness answers, nice sandals were given to us. At the time, there was a plan. I was very afraid of that plan. Question, what kind of plan? Witness, when Taval spoke at the same time, scarves, cigarettes, lighters, and white shirts were given to the leaders. Then he would say, you are all captains. He repeated, you are all captains, colonel. He pointed at us and walked out joking with the cadres after the meeting. He compared the selection of mobile unit the same the military did. The plan was at Phnom Kaun Kleng. The plan could not be executed, but I just learned about that plan. Not meeting for killing people. If there was a meeting to have a plan, it was in secret. It was a plan, he continues, it was a plan to arm the mobile unit, but it could not be executed. The supplies had already arrived. When there was a plan as such, you were armed, and then what went on is the question. No arms were given, and the plan was never executed. The arrest was launched, then it became quiet. Who was arrested? Answer, at the time, Tahung and Taval were arrested and taken away. Mr. Witness, there is additional evidence of the same witness, which all seems to suggest that there was a secret plan to arm the mobile unit workers and to revolt against quote-unquote the Khmer Rouge or quote-unquote the Southwest Zone soldiers. Having just given you some additional details, does that somehow jog your memory?
President, you have the floor now, International Deputy Co-Prosecutor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. My objection, only objection, is to the last part of that question where Mr. Koppe characterized this witness's evidence as confirming some sort of plan to rebel against the Khmer Rouge leadership. There was no such confirmation from this witness. He testified in this court. All he testified to was that there was a discussion at this meeting about the mobile forces becoming captains in the future. He was repeatedly asked whether there was any plan about rebelling, said he had no information of that. In fact, at 1441 of his trial testimony on the 26th, regarding the plan of Taval and Tahung, I have no idea. I do not really understand what the plan was. So it's if this statement of this witness is to be put to the current witness, it shouldn't be mischaracterized, and we should have a honest description of the testimony this witness gave in these proceedings.
If I may respond, Mr. President, when I was summarizing the additional evidence, I wasn't actually summarizing the evidence that the particular witness gave here, but rather the evidence that he gave to investigators of the co-investigating judge. More particularly, I was referring to his statement. I know there is an E3 number, but I just give the other numbers, E319/19.3.18. In question and answers 48 and 49, he does repeat, or he does confirm the existence of a plan. For instance, I can quote that to you. Question 48. You talked about the preparation of a detailed plan in which you said Tahung had a plan to use all the members who worked in the mobile unit as soldiers to fight the Khmer Rouge. Can you explain this event? And then he answers, at that time, they got the material in the warehouse at Trapiang Tamad worksite ready, and there was a meeting at night at 12 p.m. or 1 a.m. And Tahung announced to the mobile unit that all of us would become captain in the future. I thought he was talking about the arrangement for us to become soldiers to fight the Khmer Rouge. Question number 50. As I understand, the Northwest Cadres wanted to fight the Southwest Cadres. Is that correct? Yes, it is. So that's the testimony that I was actually referring to. I think he played a little, he backtracked a little bit when he gave testimony in closed session, but I think I'm entitled also to refer to earlier testimony. So I think my question is fair.
I think counsel may be misunderstanding my point. I don't have any problem with him reading those excerpts, but the witness should understand that when he testified in this court, he said all that was said at that meeting was about becoming captains in the future, and the rest of this was surmising by the witness. So I don't have any problem with you putting that to him, but I think it should be clear to this witness what was said in the trial testimony.
I'm happy then to rephrase my question. Mr. Witness, if I summarize parts of that particular witness's testimony, parts of what he said to DC Chem, and parts what he said to the investigators of the International Co-Investigating Judge, when you hear these details about a meeting during which Tahung and Taval spoke about being armed and fighting the Khmer Rouge or the Southwest Zone soldiers, a meeting at Phnom Kong Kleng, sandals, cigarette lighters being promised, etc. Does that somehow jog your memory or not at all?
Answer. I am not aware of the plan and I have never heard of it. I have just heard just now in this hearing. I have no idea about the plan.
I accept, of course, what you're saying, Mr. Witness. However, I would like to bring your attention to something that you said yourself to investigators of DC Chem. Mr. President, that is English, Khmer ERN 007 34089 and English 007286883 and French 01123644. Let me read to you exactly what you said so that you can comment on that. Tahung and Taval got along well with each other. They were in the same party. Tachil and Tanim were in another party. The reason that I knew that they were in a different party because Tahung and Taval pointed out to me once that all mobile forces, when they went to cut down cotton in Kangwa Mountain, planted cotton farms, and he would arm all of them. We would run to Thailand. I was asked to observe the road. As Mul Sambat, also known as Tanim and Tachil, knew the plan, they looking beyond us. The next page, Mr. Witness, you again refer to forces being armed. More particular is page 007349090 in Khmer, French 011236445, and English 007286884. You are saying, question, he came in 77, but you mentioned earlier that Taval was about to arm the mobile forces and prepare to run to Thailand. What year was it? Then you answer, that was in the year that we finished Cambodia Dam. It was in late 76. It was about November or December, because in November or December the water was about to dry up. Question, so it was before the building of the Tapik Tma Dam. Answer, before that, we had not prepared to build the Tapik Tma Dam yet. Question, so he said he was about to arm his forces and run to Thailand. And then you answer, before the construction of Tapik Tma Dam. So, to summarize, Mr. Witness, it seems that you are twice talking about Taval arming mobile forces and running off to Thailand. Is that summary correct? Is that something that you said about Taval?